What is going on, guys? 821 Mayo here, and today I'm bringing you episode number 31 of the VoD review series. You can find links to all my social media as well as my Discord, Patreon, and tip video playlist down below in the description. I'd greatly appreciate you guys go check out those links, and with all of that being said, let's jump into the VoD itself. Alright, so since this VoD is over an hour long, I'm just going to review 2 rounds from each side. Just because I don't want the video to be too long, because if I watch an hour of gameplay, it's going to be well over an hour and 30 minutes of actual VoD review. So I'm just going to shorten it down, review 2 rounds from each side, attack and defense, and then I'll give my thoughts and evaluation that way.
They've got theatre. There's a Valkyrie theatre. Yeah, they've got a south in theatre. I say we need to put.
Alright, so since this is a scrim, I'm going to kind of be a little bit more harsh and kind of pausing and seeing things that I don't like or seeing mistakes. So the first mistake that I'm seeing right now is you're on Coastline, yes, and I've said in my previous videos and stuff like that, that on Coastline you really don't need a hard breacher for most cases. But if you are bringing one, you should still be playing the hard breach role or the support role. So you really shouldn't be face checking things like that, especially when you have 2 drones on your person, and you also should be droning in the first place to get the information, because if a defender hears you break this barricade, this is pretty much a free pre-fire. So first thing that I don't like seeing in the round is doing this. It shouldn't really be happening.
Yeah, they've got a south in theatre. I say we need to push them out. So
someone join VIP.
Breaking the barricade there, not a great idea either. What I suggest you should do is spray 10 to 15 bullets on the barricade, and then reload, throw your drone close, VIP, wherever it may be, and then fully break the barricade, because anyone could be close left or close right. Hall of Fame could swing you, again, being the only hard breacher. I know I've said it in the past that Coastline isn't really a hard breach reliant map, but still having that option with the hard breach utility is a good choice to have. So just something I would take into consideration.
We've got holes on 90. Holes on 90.
Just got my bloody drone.
Go open else one now.
I guess I'm just gonna watch luggage.
Is it open?
I know, maybe.
No, it's not.
I've got a drone VIP.
Alright, you just said you have a drone VIP, so it's always a good habit for whoever you are playing on attack or whatever, whether you play comp, casual, or ranked, and you're just communicating, it's always a good idea to communicate what drone number you put down. So you saying that you have a drone VIP makes your teammates have to flick through 5 other drones just to get to that sixth drone, which is your drone VIP. Well, not actually number 6, but 6 drones total. So just say, I have VIP drone 3. Easy as that. A super good habit to get into that I wish a lot more people did do.
Is there anybody in penthouse or anything? We joined all?
Alright, so you guys are looking at a theater hold here. I'm not sure what bomb site it is. You don't have the bomb, so it doesn't show where the bombs are at.
Ping the IQ. That's Valk.
I don't think that is Valk. I think that's Wamai. If you did kill Valk, then you know that there's also a Wamai there.
Isn't there a guy in theatre?
I'm pretty sure you droned a Wamai, no?
I'm calling into VIP now. I'm putting the nomad down in VIP.
I'm holding theatre door.
Never works.
Oh, there's a vigil, I don't know where he is.
He was top white, I
think he's in luggage.
Is someone watching theatre?
Yeah, I'm watching theatre.
I'm holding theatre now.
Okay.
So we don't need to go
again. I don't know where he is. He might be in Aqua.
Oh, you did kill Valk, okay. It looked like a Wamai for some reason.
Idea.
This is an absolutely useless angle to hold. Your Nomad should be setting down the flanks. Or sorry, the Nomad charges. There's only 2 staircases on this map. Unless they have the Oryx, they have to go up the stairs, which there's an air jab there. They either have to shoot or trip the air jab. Also, you use an ace charge on the floor. I don't know why. You have a sledge. You also have an Ash and a Zofia. So that was a completely wasteless piece of utility there. There's a wasted Selma. So far, I mean, you're just taking map control. You guys are taking a little bit too slow. I'm also hearing a lot of the same communication saying, do we have white, do we have this, do we have that, and people are saying, yes, I have this, yes, I have this. So things are being repeated constantly. So,
Alright, play
yeah,
now.
I'm not too sure
I'm gonna go drone
what's
site.
going on with that.
They've got an MP5.
Okay, so droning site here is a really good play, or a really good decision by you.
I think there's one bathroom. Yeah, one bathroom, on ping. He's run off.
You ran across.
He's deep delivery, deep delivery. Someone go delivery door. Someone go delivery door. It's free kill.
We need verticals here, sledge.
I'm
Oh, sorry, I always forget.
This round is not looking good for you guys.
Don't take the diffuser. Don't take the diffuser. Give me the diffuser. Give me the diffuser. Give me the diffuser.
Go delivery door.
Yeah, let's go delivery door. Go. Someone needs to stay on these verticals, please.
I'll come back to verticals if it. Do you want me to stop watching? A second, I'm gonna ash. I'm gonna ash the Bob.
Go.
Are you watching bathroom, Rob?
Oh no.
And again.
I've not got a second one. I already used it.
This is not
Oh,
good.
shit, I thought there'd be another one. I'm sorry.
You see him right side. Oh my goodness.
Prison.
My game froze. My game froze. He's in kitchen.
25. 50. Hold the door and rotate, please.
I am.
I got it
Someone
down.
close on you. There's someone close on you. You know that guy's close on you based off audio. So you guys off the rip took way too long to take map control and weren't efficient with your time at all either. That's why you're in the situation here right now where you're planting with 15 seconds left, which could very easily be avoided. So something to take into consideration for you and your team. Also, when you are droning here, delivery or service, I call it delivery, some people call it service, whatever it may be. You need to be calling out those footholds there as well. That's a really crucial piece of information that you didn't communicate to your team. So, so far, for you, I would say you should be a little bit more. What am I trying to say here? When you're going through a round, it's important to know what job you have to do. And a lot of the times you are doing other people's jobs that you didn't have to do. So, for example, hard breaching the floor with the Selma when you have a Sledge and Ash and a Sophia. And also holding a VIP flank when you should have had it nomaded. Like, those are two things that other people in your team have jobs directly for. You should be kind of droning, figuring out where people are at. It sounds like you're the IGL, so you should probably be kind of directing people a little bit more throughout the round and not just at the beginning and the end. Because the most important part of a round is the beginning as well as the middle. Because most of the time you're going to be droning site, which is fine. And things along those lines. And especially in this situation. Let me rephrase that. In this situation, the more important part of the rounds are in the beginning and the middle. That's when a lot of things start to fall apart. Because if you can't start a round well, then you're not going to end the round well. Simply because, and even if you did win the round, you're still probably having to go for gunfights and frags to win the round. There's really no structure in the round anymore. When 1 or 2 or 3 people get picked off in a minute or so. So, I would definitely put you and your team in a little bit more of a direction than just kind of doing rank takes and stuff like that, and also efficiency on your attacks.
Because if we take the site, we can just hop on top of it.
I have a drone in penthouse. I can drone it. Rubber, I need you to come up here and get rid of hatch. Penthouse is clear.
Okay, I'm gonna drone.
Check
I'm gonna
theatre and
drone.
VIP,
I
please.
hear off. Okay, yeah.
Check thirds first.
Okay.
Oh,
One
my
VIP.
Hall of Fame cameras got destroyed.
One guy VIP. One guy VIP.
I'm holding Hall of Fame.
Okay, so far, really good comms from your teammates. You're cutting off rotates here. You guys should kind of be expecting these people upstairs, because if it is a scrim, if they lost the bomb site, they're most likely going to go there again to fix their mistakes. At least that's how most people play a scrim. So you should be expecting at least the Valkyrie upstairs here. So you really shouldn't have to drone her, especially if they are the same bomb site. So it's kind of a piece of information for anyone that ever scrims or knows a strat on game day or something like that. I'm not saying you should avoid droning this person, but you should be droning other areas around that person and then eventually drone that person. because they could change a few things up, maybe put someone in a different location here and there, or play a position differently. So it's important to drone what you need to take first instead of droning ahead and then taking what you need. So just a little piece of information for that situation. But so far, really good round coming out from you and your teammates. Are cutting off rotates. One person's in VIP, one is in theater, and your team is running really well. They're giving really good information. So far, I'm liking what I'm seeing and hearing during this round.
Alright, guys there.
Somebody go one more VIP valve, please. One more VIP valve.
Do you want me to drop?
No.
Okay.
Is it the same shield? Is it the same shield?
I don't know if they have a shield now.
I'm smoking theater.
They got one eye on cool vibes. Oh, my freaking drop.
Am I gonna drop?
Yeah, I'm repelling in.
Okay.
No one in pink. Still.
Whoa, I think he's right side of the window. Dead.
Okay, so that's a VIP guy. You still have one theater.
Theater?
Oh,
Okay, so two things here. Firstly,
I think he's right side of the window. Dead.
I wanna pause it to when you see the door here. Okay, so firstly, you should be droning this guy, or a teammate should be droning this guy. You know he's theater, top white, or 90. One of those areas. He's in that general area. Okay? But regardless, you guys should have concrete information on that guy. This goes back to what I was saying 30 seconds ago about taking what you need and then droning someone in a position that they were last in the previous round or whatever it may be. You know this guy's going to be in theater. It just depends on where exactly he is in that area. Okay? And also, what you do here by over-peaking, look what you did. So, firstly, you have no concrete information on the Valkyrie theater, okay? And then secondly, you overextend, leaving this whole doorway open in an angle. Instead of, what you could have done here very easily was just, wow,
I'm smoking theater.
that's interesting. What you could have done instead
Theater?
I'm gonna
was just hold this angle exactly right here. If you sit here and hold this angle, you know last round that the back white wall was reinforced. So she really doesn't have anywhere to go unless they made a rotate into theater, into the hallway. But you know at least her top white wall, her theater wall, to top white, is reinforced. So her only rotate ability is through this door. And what you have here is an absolutely great line of sight. You're elevated. You have a really good gun to your advantage. So that are two things that are going towards you. But instead, you over peak here and expose yourself, and it allowed the Valkyrie to relocate, and then you re-peak as she's pre-firing. So, a couple mistakes there that I would like to see being fixed. But, I mean, in the beginning part of the round, it was pretty good. Solid information. You guys got a really early pick in the first minute of the round. That's a huge advantage on Coastline since it is such a frag-heavy map. Getting an early pick like that really allows your team to be a little bit more flexible and free-flowing for the most part. And also, it kind of... what I'm trying to say, it helps your team out a lot more. So, again, really good early pick. Really good call-outs. You cutting off the rotates was really good as well. I just want to see you not over-peak there so much. You need to understand what position you're in when you're in it. This is something that I've been talking about the past few VoD reviews. So, yeah, take that piece of information across all angles in the game or positions or situations that you're in. Because you know most likely, you don't have concrete information on the room or on the player. But from the previous round, you can pull information into this round and say, she can only rotate through the door, at least to my knowledge. So I'm going to sit here and hold this door until said otherwise, or until information tells me otherwise. So something to take into account for future scrims games, ranked games, whatever it may be. Alright, we're going to jump on over to the defensive half here. I'm going to go a little bit further into the prep phase, just so just so I can evaluate some strats and things like that.
Someone plays VIP.
Toby, oh no, we need 2 below, don't we?
Okay, so pretty default rotates so far.
Because I'm just gonna get pushed out instant.
Making that aqua rotate isn't uncommon. Making that
Do you want an ADS for your shield?
Fuka rotate isn't that uncommon, so
Shield was- oh yeah, yeah.
so far I'm seeing pretty
If you're gonna
basic
play VIP,
stuff.
You might want a shield like a ADS or something.
No, I'm just gonna go right here.
Okay, I've got quad.
I got a comment VIP.
Okay, this is interesting. This is an interesting spot to place a shield. Usually you'll see like a smoke play billiards bar, which is the pool table bar. Some people call it purple bar or whatever it may be. I think they call it. Is it pink bar? I can't remember. But billiards bar. Usually you'll see the smoke being played there. You guys have a little bit more of. You guys have more flexibility in this situation. With the Valk and Mozzie Nitro 4 plant denial, but you playing Aqua here kind of secures your location in the round, especially if they send someone like Big Window, because they can cut off your entire rotate up here. You could very easily drop the office hatch behind you, but your direct sight rotation ability is kind of limited by playing Aqua. Now you might rotate, I'm not sure, but I'm just saying.
Oh, we're not open that crib. We're not open that crib.
If you do play that position, that you're very limited. So.
No, I think it's worth.
Can play without it.
It's easy for you to
Okay, so it seems like the Jaeger's actually playing there. Okay, then.
White stairs window. White
Okay.
stairs window.
If they push me out VIP, I'm 100% dead.
I don't know why you're in VIP.
Go onto the roof. I think they're even clearing rooms.
Office door.
One's on roof.
What are you looking at here?
Through all 3.
Oh, okay.
It's in office. It's
Yeah. Alright, so 2 things I want to cover here. First, you're a smoke playing VIP with absolutely no support, which takes me into the second part of what I want to explain here. This is Coastline specific, but it can apply to other maps in certain areas. So what you have around you here, let's take a look. So you have a big window behind you, and then you have Hall of Fame door in Hall of Fame hallway or guitar. You have an entire soft wall here. Okay. You have an entire soft wall to the left of you. You also have a big window in penthouse. Then you also have a window top white. So these are all the ways that the attackers can cut off your rotations, and you're simply just a smoke SMG-11 shotgun in VIP. This is not a job for you. This is more like a job for the Jaeger or something. If you want to roam over here, that's fine, but just don't do it with smoke. And also the fact that you died in this position, even worse. Losing a smoke on Coastline that early on without him using or wasting any time is definitely not a position you want to be in on the defense. So please don't do that again. Unless you're running a very specific strat to counter strat, a team that takes VIP heavy, that's completely understandable. If you have a set location to play with your smoke or your smoke canisters, or sorry, with your team smoke, and use his canisters, that's completely fine. But when you just go off solo like this and then also die, that's just 2 things that are not meant to be. So let's leave this round at that, but please, it's not worth it just to kind of run around a smoke and try to shoot Selmas off the quad wall for billiards. I mean, you have plenty of other people on your team that can do that.
Yeah. Like after you right now. Office.
No, you can't shoot through the default.
Direct.
Yeah, quick.
Been off.
No.
It's a bit too late.
No. I said to put.
Yeah,
Oh, you're gonna.
Yeah, so you jump up here and then you sprint ahead and then place it here.
Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Got it.
I haven't made any
Yeah,
notes
got
of that. That's really annoying.
I really hope you don't go VIP again.
Come on, fat man, run.
Jack, help make the rotate. Get the hatch, actually. Just get the hatch.
Yeah, I'll do hatch.
Something default. Where's default? Is it there?
Right there. You need it to be like this.
So I actually just noticed something. Why are you guys not reinforcing the middle hookah wall? I don't know why you guys aren't doing that. It seems like you have people below, which is fine, but I would definitely reinforce that wall. Like, what is the reason you're not reinforcing it? That's the question that I need answered. Definitely reinforce that wall.
It's here. That is
Oh,
default.
go for it. They're
So
going
that
office.
means the ping was off then, because I was on direct.
Abandon outcome. We can't play it.
Well, I'm gonna
So
keep
I
it
won't
short
even
then.
use the count.
God, humongous balls on this man.
Yeah, from office screen.
Alright. This is what I like to see. I like to see a smoke sitting in billiards waiting. This is what I like to see. Alright. I'm interested to see how this round plays out now that you actually
Tell me if you need help, Johnny.
you're gonna stay alive.
No, I'm so dead.
Because I'm kind of trying to review
I'm scared.
Window-
your perspective of the VoD, not necessarily your entire team's. So I'm glad that you're at least gonna be alive longer than last round.
Whoa.
No comes. Office. Office.
All right, so I like seeing this.
Blue back.
You're flicking through cameras. I really love seeing this. A lot of people don't understand. They just kind of like sit there, like I don't know why, but people on site like will just kind of walk around, look at things, break pieces of the map or something like that, or just like knife stuff. Like, no, just because you're on site and nothing's happening or you're not in a direct gunfight does not mean that you don't have a job to do. So I really enjoy seeing you getting on cams and giving some early round information, because that's super important,
Office. Office.
especially in a competitive environment, to give early round information, because that'll kind of tell you where the initial push of the attackers are going to be from, so that way you can form your roamers or your defense around that, because sometimes you might need to rotate utility, like ADSs, shields, maestros, things along those lines. So really important to get on cams in competitive, as well as ranked. I mean, you can do it in both settings, but in competitive it usually gives a little bit more of an advantage. So really
Wait, I've got an idea.
Dead.
good decision coming out from you by getting on cam super early.
I've got flashed. I've been flashed.
I died. From where? I got the drone hole.
Hallway.
Okay, this is also really good.
I'm holding.
You're noticing that they're not taking any map control upstairs, or at least you're not seeing any drones, no barricades are being broken. So you still have a job to do, and this is one of this could be one of them, holding the blue bar rotate. Now, one thing that I would like to
Hallway.
for you to change here is, instead of holding such an open angle like this, which gives the attackers a lot more mobility and flexibility in the gunfight, what you can do is back up and then make the same holes but on the other side of the blue bar door. So that way they have to walk through a narrow doorway like this, instead of taking a gunfight through this open floor where they can rotate and move wherever they please. Because they have a lot more mobility in this area than in a doorway like this. So that's something to take into consideration in the future.
Hallway.
I'm holding blue door.
He's in office. Sophia office.
They pushed me out. Actually, no, they haven't.
Bandit. Maestro.
On your cam. Left one.
Oh no.
Nice. Oh,
I missed one.
Frick.
That's fine.
I'm kind of stuck
I
here
got
now.
the... Sorry about that.
Sorry.
why are you peeking that?
One
Is
dead.
that our good
Nice.
first?
Alright, got the refrag, which is good. You guys are in a 3v3 situation. This is actually a pretty good spot to be in on Coastline. You got 3 smokes left and a nitro, and you have even man count with 1 minute and 15 left. That's pretty good. Usually it's more favored to one side, but seeing a much more even round is it's actually pretty good for the defenders.
I got a sledge, by the way.
Back whip out.
One luggage.
Ooh, that's not an angle to hold at all.
Do you think they're gonna
That's not a good angle for you to hold.
No, yeah, I've got.
Taking
I've got-
super long range gunfights like that when you don't need to is not a good idea, while playing smoke, at least.
Yeah.
Like, peeking that is not the move, Chief. She's in.
In office. In office.
Oh, she's in, okay. That sound was really close. Especially the footsteps.
Oh, that doesn't work. Okay.
Okay, so one thing you're not picking up on here. The that I want you to notice. So, paying attention to gun sounds in this game will give you a lot of really crucial information about player positioning. So, what do we know here from 30 seconds ago or so? We know that there was a Zofia in office. Okay? Now we're however much time into the round, we're now at 40 seconds. Okay? The ace breached the billiards wall or quad wall, and he was playing the roof. But now you're hearing the AK-12, which is Ace's primary assault rifle, on Aquabelk. Okay, well, where's Zofia going to be? She's probably going to be maybe downstairs, maybe rotating, something like that, along those lines. And then you also knew that there was a Nomad in office right now as well. So you know accurately where 2 of the 3 attackers are at, and you can kind of guess and predict where the third one is going to be. Now, I could be completely wrong and say that Zofia went to the roof, but at least in my mind, it would not make sense for the Ace and the Zofia to swap positions. Even if the Ace had diffuser, he could still drop it on the roof, the Zofia could grab it, and then he could still play the position by holding the quad wall, the Billard rotation through the quad wall that he breached. So, what you have right now is you have, at least to me, what I'm reading into this round, you have pretty free rotation ability since the Ace left his position on the roof looking through the Billard's breach. Super, super important that you pay attention to gun sounds and where they are in the round.
I can tell if they're going.
Yeah, so
He dropped luggage, I think. Oh no, Aquador.
Aquador. 2 Aquador.
that's Ace. That's diffuser as well.
One more's outside.
Oh, it's a gridlock. So is it a Nomad and a gridlock?
One more Aquador.
Or am I just high?
Nice. That's diffused with Aqua.
One last one off.
It's a Nomad and a gridlock? Or unless it's an Iana. Okay.
Nice freaking job, guys.
Okay. Great round coming out of you. You played a position that maybe you shouldn't have been playing, but you still did. And you made the most out of nothing, pretty much. I mean, your back was against the wall there. Like, you had 1 reinforcement to play off of and a shield. You played the round really, really well in that position. But just don't forget what I said about player positioning and stuff like that, because as the round progressed, and as you see now that all 3 attackers are now dead, nobody was on the roof anymore. 2 were Aquabelk and then 1 was below, so I was somewhat accurate on the positioning. So it's important to, again, pay attention to where the gun sounds are throughout the round to understand where positioning is and where they might push and where they most likely won't push. So yeah, that's all 4 of the rounds. We're at 30 minutes in the VoD, which is usually where I like to kind of cut it off, so it's not too long for you guys to watch. But yeah, what I can say for you on defense is decision making and situational awareness should definitely be kind of paid attention to a little bit more. You demonstrated that you can obviously have great aim in the game, so I think mechanical skill can kind of not be focused on too much for you, since that will just get better over time the more you play the game. The more hours you put in, the more mechanically inclined you will become. But kind of try to focus on the mentality side of things towards the game. So decision making, positioning, and situational awareness are the 3 things that I want to see you work on defense. And then attack, pretty much the same thing. So situational awareness, like for example, you using the Ace Selma on the floor when you had a sledge. Why? I mean, you can, but like, why? And also, you kind of just sat in theater the same round and kind of just held 90 and things like that. You should be kind of communicating with your team. Hey, did you put an air jab on Cool Vibe and on White Stairs? Hey, is there a flank drone on Cool Vibe and White Stairs? Those are 2 things. Once you get upstairs control on any map and you need to work downstairs, those are 2 things that you need to have in place. Is a flank drone, which should always be set up, and if you have the option to do it, is some sort of flank utility. So like a Gridlock Claymore or a Nomad. preferably a nomad or a gridlock, but sometimes your lineup on the attack doesn't allow for a flank watch operator. So yeah, decision making, positioning, and things like that. I mean, it sounds basic, but if you actually work on those things, you will become a better player. Again, you have I would say above average mechanical skill. So the more you play the game, and the less you kind of focus on, you know, oh, I have great aim, and then kind of focus more on decision making, it will get you further in the game. So that's what I want you to focus on. I appreciate you submitting the VOD. I hope whoever did submit the VOD, Admiral Clarky, I hope the VOD review helped you out. If it helped anyone else out, make sure you guys leave a like, comment, and sub on the video. It helps me out a lot more than you guys think. As I said at the beginning of the video, there are links to all my social media as well as my Discord, Patreon, and tip video playlist down below in the description. Make sure you guys go check out those links. Maybe drop me a follow on Twitter or whatever your preferred platform is. And yeah, thank you for all the support. Thank you for watching. And I will see you guys in the next video.